Where is Bitcoin gonna go next? What are we gonna see in this Thanksgiving shortened market this week, in the markets this week? What's gonna happen to Sam Altman? What projects are gonna launch on MetaChain? We're gonna discuss all those things, and welcome to this video. My name is Julian. On my channel, I talk about the beautiful world of blockchain, cryptocurrency, decentralization. I try to put different hats on. On the one hand, had us as a CEO of Cake Group, talking about the challenges that obviously crypto companies face during crypto winter. I want to talk about being an investor, how to kind of position yourself to get the most purchase power, and obviously being an influencer at the same time, working with regulators. All these are different hats that you are trying to kind of manage, juggle, and I try to kind of put them all in. I have 5 points that I want to discuss in today's video, and I think they're going to be really interesting points. We're going to talk about price, we're going to talk about direction, we're going to talk about all the craziness around Sam Altman, we're going to talk about Defi chain, so stay tuned, it's going to be really cool. First, I want to actually start with a topic from last week. I think most of you have heard that in our company we had a retrenchment. We had to let go of 50 people. This was a very, very tough decision. It was the right decision. Not everyone agreed, but at the end, it is the right decision. And maybe really quickly, I want to address a couple of things. First of all, I know probably many of you watching this are big customers or are Defi chain supporters. There shouldn't be any impact on that. Actually, the retrenchment in these departments shouldn't have any impact on what we're doing there. Last week, the Defi chain hard fork, then I think 2 days afterwards, worked really, really smoothly. I think it was one of the smoothest hard forks we had. So this was super exciting. The community is super excited about this. So I think that was really, really successful. You should be seeing more upgrades on the big side. So that's also going to be quite exciting. Yeah, I know right now it's just, there's some uncertainty, and I get that. But I really want to make this clear that, I mean, maybe it's also a question that a lot of you had, is like, what changed, right? Just 3 months ago, you said, hey, there's no retrenchment, and suddenly you did a retrenchment. And look, the thing that changed is sometimes the perception on what you want to pursue. And where do you see your risk reward? For example, imagine you're still making the same kind of money, you're having the same kind of expenses, and you have a Netflix subscription. And then suddenly you realize, okay, you know what, actually, you want to focus on other things, or you want to defocus on some things and focus on your core business again, right? And these are things. And then, for example, that means you don't extend your Netflix subscription. Now, that doesn't mean that necessarily anything changed on you or something. It's just a different approach, different focus. And it's the same thing there, right? And so I know this is sometimes really, really tough. It's tough sometimes from the outside to see all the individual decisions and understand all the different points. I get that. But I want you to know that as a group, we are super focused now, actually more laser focused than ever. My commitment as the CEO is as strong as ever. I'm actually really excited about ideas that we have and the roadmap ahead. And I mean, I know it's a bit early still because we still have about a month to go, but I'm really excited about the next year. There's some really cool plans. And yeah, and look, if you look on a 1 year horizon, the company is actually larger than a year ago. So people tend to forget that sometimes. You try out certain things, you realize, okay, certain experiments didn't work out, and you just need to refocus. So yeah, has nothing to do with our core business, has nothing to do with like all the FUD that some people are spreading. So I just want you to really understand that. Yeah, with that, let's go to some of the other topics, and honestly, you will see. I mean, team will be delivering, so it's as straightforward as it can be. Yeah, let's talk a bit about the other things. Defi chain hard fork, finally MetaChain layers there. It took quite a while. I mean, a lot of testing, and to my knowledge, Defi chain has now become the only chain out there that has a UTXO base layer, basically a Bitcoin fork, and then has an Ethereum virtual machine layer on top, Turing complete. And that is going to be a powerful connector between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And to my knowledge, Defi chain is the only one that is in that realm, and that can be extremely exciting. At the end, value comes from utility, and to me, that drives massive utility. So I am super excited to see what projects are now building on top of that, and the direction and ideas and possibilities. So it's really, really cool. I mean, now we're a couple of days in. It's going to take a little bit until everything is kind of coming together, but very, very nice and really, really exciting. So that was a big milestone. In crypto in general last week, we have seen a rather red market last week. I know we have seen a bit of a pump back up today, but I mean, this is always, it feels like a bit of a up and down. And I think a lot of that simply stems from that people have been mainly been driven by the Bitcoin spot ETF and the expectation that this should come soon. Obviously the Ethereum spot ETF, the crazy part is really Ethereum has really been underperforming and people are wondering why. And it seems that one of the main reasons has been because the Ethereum trust from Grayscale was at such a stark discount that it took quite some capital to kind of buy that Ethereum trust up. And that's going to take a little while, simply because so far there hasn't been much institutional focus. And so now that's kind of driving this a lot. And for Ethereum, there simply aren't many other institutional products that actually target Ethereum directly other than that trust. So that's just really interesting. But from a regulatory standpoint, Ethereum has been really strengthened. I think from a fundamental standpoint, it looks really, really exciting. So these are all points that make me bullish on the entire space. And so at the moment, I think it's a great time still to dollar cost average, to prepare for the hopeful launch of the Bitcoin spot ETF, the Ethereum spot ETF. I don't know if it's going to happen this year or beginning of next year. Obviously the halving, I think there's some really, really beautiful kind of cycles that are possible there. So really good momentum, really nice kind of drive in all of that. Obviously the fair question to ask, how much of the entire kind of hype and hopium and so on is kind of priced in? Are we at 10%, 20%, 50%? Some people say, oh, it's already overpriced, right? So we're actually on the way down. I don't think so. I think we still have like a leg up. But these are the fair questions that we have in crypto. And I think this week is going to be very interesting. It's Thanksgiving in the US, and the US is still the strongest market when it comes to stocks and crypto, by far, right? I mean, that is the dominant market. And Thanksgiving generally is a time where you have a continuation of momentum. Meaning, if prices have been going up, obviously at the dinner table, people are bullish and people create FOMO and so on. And then that kind of drives and continues the momentum. And so it's going to be interesting to kind of see what's going to happen this week, because it's a shortened week. Generally, it's a calmer week. In the stock market, Thanksgiving is rarely a week where a lot of stuff happens. A lot of the investors, traders, and so on, they go on an extended holiday a bit. It's kind of the start of the holiday season. So obviously, that's always a bit of a time where you're not expecting all too much. And so let's see what this means for crypto, because it could easily be. I mean, Solana has been insanely strong, right? We've seen the same thing for Chainlink. So these are things that, I don't know, may continue. And that's going to be quite interesting as a whole there. So yeah, let's see how this is going to play out in the bigger scheme of things. Other than that, the news has been extremely sleek. Inflation last week was relatively like expected. Yeah, it went a bit down, but I mean, this was expected. US shutdown avoided. Bonds have been rallying, something we had discussed as one of the most interesting alpha ideas at the moment. So I don't know. I feel like at the moment there's not too much where you sit there and you're like, oh wow, that's surprising. I think I seriously think that, like, and that's why. Look, the big news was that around Sam Altman getting fired by the OpenAI board, and I'm telling you, this was a shocker, I think, for everyone. And it was interesting. I had a mastermind meeting actually over the weekend, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs there, people who actually know Sam Altman in person. I don't know him in person, but people who know him in person. And it was really crazy to see how they were also really dumbfounded. And it seems that, yeah, this, I mean, let's see what the shakeup is going to be now, right? There's rumors on OpenAI board dissolving and getting Sam Altman back. Maybe Sam Altman starts something different. I think it also depends a bit on what are the actual allegations the board has against him. And this is also not really clear. So, man, what a roller coaster ride. And look, for me, about 5 years ago, not exactly, but a bit less than 5 years ago, I got ousted by the board of my past company. And it's painful. It's really, really painful. And he seems to be doing a lot of things right. I did a lot of things wrong at that point. So yeah, he seems to be, like, I think he knows what he's doing. He got a lot of support also. Sometimes a bit surprising how much support. it's quite unanimous in my opinion. So yeah, very interesting. What do I think? I think crypto is going to be relatively stable, flat this week. I don't think so much movement. Same on stocks. I think Sam is going to get back onto OpenAI. I think the momentum for Thanksgiving is going to be on the side of, oh man, these motorcycles are just nuts, really. I think the momentum for Thanksgiving is going to be more on the side of the same for longer. And I think that's going to be the discussions around the dinner table. MetaChain project they're launching is so exciting. Vanilla Swap on there launched. Pixels launched. I think today another thing launched. I just checked this in the morning. And I'm expecting more and more right now to come on there. So I hope you're watching this. This is really, really exciting. And with that comes a lot of utility that's going to drive DeFi Chain's value. Yeah, and I think it's a good time to get prepared for the next leg up. So if you want to do what I'm doing, I'm dollar cost averaging. Obviously, you need to do what you want to do. I'm dollar cost averaging into crypto, into Ethereum, DeFi Chain, Bitcoin. I think this makes a lot of sense. And yeah, with that, I hope you're doing well. Have a really great week, everyone. All the best. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.